In my GMing experience, it's a rare but expected part of running tabletop RPGs to have a session where the players rage quit and have the game just crash and burn part way. I've only had 2 games that's happened to. Wait, I just remembered 3 games. It was 3 games. Wait, no, 4. Sorry, 4. Last number, I promise. 5. It was 5. That's the number. I mean, if you didn't know any better, you'd think I was a terrible GM or something. The group was going to play Traveler, which is a fabulous game. I had picked it up because I wanted a generic RPG, which didn't have any baggage attached to it the way that the Star Wars and Star Trek games did. As a space game, it was actually really down to earth. The system's more about business management, with tables on goods, services, and trading. Yeah, you can hunt for bounties and go wild out in the deep space, but even that, it's like, torpedoes cost a lot of money. Can we really fit it into the budget? Whatever you're gonna get for the ship is not going to recoup your costs back. Talking about costs, the ship. Ships in that game are a lot of money. In system, they cost about 150 million credits, which 1 credit is about $1 in the modern world. Originally, I had just wanted to give my players a ship, for free, or right at the start of the game. That way you get the open stars and you aren't tied to anyone, you just go off on your own. But then I had to ask myself, why wouldn't they just sell the ship and I'll retire? Instead, people get ship shares, which is 1% of a ship. Buying a ship share is like buying a stock in the stock market. I can't imagine playing as a pilot in that game, because they're the ones who run the ship. And let me tell you, I played as a pilot for 2 years. Whenever your ship gets wrecked, there's all these bills racking up. Guess whose inbox they're going into? When I first brought the players together to run it, no one else in my group had played this game before or heard about it. Excellent, I thought, because it has a very strange character introduction. I had the players roll up their random stats, and I gave them a list of different options. Unlike games such as D&D, instead of player classes, there's player occupations, like diplomat, entertainer, scholar, space miner, farmer, and so on. All pretty mundane jobs. They each selected one that they liked. I want to be an engineer. I want to be a scientist. I want to be a noble. Those all sound great. I'm rooting for you guys. I really hope your characters work out that way. What do you mean, work out that way? You think you could just pick the occupation you want to be? That's cute. That's not how life works. The game uses a life path system to create characters. Characters start out when they're teenagers, and goes around in different phases. Each phase is 4 years of a character's life, where they potentially get different skills and rewards. But the older they get, the lower their physical stats decline. However, you don't just pick one and get the thing you want. What do you think this is? A game? It's life. That's not how life works. You roll to qualify for what you want and roll again to muster through it. A business one would require a social roll, a job as a professor would require a test of intellect, and then once you're in that field, you roll to see if you have any mishaps or problems, which could set you back. So, if you roll high, you get rewarded, and if you roll low, you get a setback or die. That's a thing which can happen. So I wish them all luck, and the players leapt off the diving board into life, and the game just immediately punched 2 players right in the gut. Just a straight, not holding back, gut punch. The noble got his family killed off and had to flee from his home world, and ended up working in the military under a fake name. The scholar got caught stealing someone else's work and was kicked out from his university. Okay, that was phase 1. How you guys doing? Terrible. Okay, keep rolling. Let's see what happens. The guy in the military gets deaf in one ear due to a cannon going off next to his head, and then captured by pirates before escaping, and the other guy is out doing some independent research, and his ship breaks down and gets stranded on an alien planet for several years. Now the other player, he got everything he wanted. His luck was just on fire that day. He went to the best school, he started up a business, he got money, he got ship shares, he got recognition, and just had a great life, and everything was just great. And when the characters met up, there was an obvious disparity between the 2 groups. So after that was all done, I was like, okay, you guys ready to start the game now? But I could tell the players were not horrendously happy with the characters that came out of it. I mean, the PCs were kind of a wreck by the end of it. I suggested maybe trying to do something else for their characters, but they were kind of done at that point. I mean, first off, it was sort of a mundane world, and they weren't really interested in that. And then, plus, they weren't really playing the characters they wanted to play. They were playing the characters that the game foisted upon them. So I ended up bailing on the game and playing something else. So, that was the one time I played Traveler. Well, tried to play Traveler. Maybe someday I'll be able to explore the stars. Someday. Which is far, far away from now.